Anti-3D printer legislation continues to make its way through several states here in the United States, and because of this, some of the major 3D printing YouTube personalities have gotten involved in this political debate. And 3D printing nerd's position, a shape cannot have intent, is essentially his strategy for how we're going to defeat these bills. Well, now at this point in California and possibly in Delaware, because New York, well, it's already passed. Now the thing is, this position is 100% true and is one of the very many problems that these legislations tend to have. You know, for example, this little thing right here kind of has the shape of a gun, but of course it's just a tabletop game miniature from my line of Fractured Colony gaming miniatures. And it's quite understandable why 3D printing creators don't want to make this discussion about guns. Louis Rossman kind of had a similar but much more colorful language comment along those lines in one of his videos. And that's because guns are fairly controversial in this country, even though we have a Second Amendment. The reality is the United States has a violence problem, and firearms are a major tool in that particular violence problem. But see, the thing is, when it comes to the Democrats who are pushing this legislation, they have an absolute hatred of firearms, and for them, this discussion over 3D printing is about guns, and to understand why, we really got to break down some moral philosophy. Now, traditionally, Western morality is based on a Christian tradition, and the reason that matters, that teaches that we have a sin nature, a brokenness that is just part of who we are in this human form. While external factors can be part of the reason why someone chooses to make a violent act, ultimately, because of the fact we have this broken sin nature in us, the choice for making that violent act falls on us, and it's our responsibility and ultimately our fault in doing so. This is contrast with the modern progressive ideology which underlies much of this legislation, even if many Democrats don't necessarily realize this is what's going on. In the modern progressive view, humans don't have this basic brokenness to them. They are kind of perfect from the beginning. So in order to answer the question why somebody would go ahead and perform such an awful violent act, there must be some sort of corrupting external force to cause that to happen. And one of the major corrupting factors for people who subscribe to this ideology is the access to firearms. You take those away and people will no longer commit mass atrocities. It's kind of similar to that bad reasoning that was back from the mid to late 90s, early 2000s with the idea that violent video games cause people to commit mass atrocities. Of course, this is kind of a stupid, slippery slope argument because it ends up leading you're going to need to ban knives, swords, machetes, cars, and an assortment of other things that people use to commit violent acts all over the world. And just as a third possible option, there are some politicians, regardless of party, who are basically an authoritarian of some flavor, and the reality is access to firearms, well, that's quite a threat to their power. So the short story here is that even if 3D printing creators and the 3D printing community in general doesn't want to make this about guns, the people who are pushing this legislation and the supporters of this legislation who want to go ahead and cripple 3D printers, well, for them it is about guns. As I mentioned a little while ago, they absolutely hate them. So here's a screenshot from a recent Senate Judiciary Committee meeting where Rebecca Bauer-Kahan was presenting her legislation to the committee. She's the one who wrote AB 2047, which is the anti-3D printer legislation that is currently making its way through the state of California. And during this process, people were allowed to come up and basically present their support or opposition to this bill, and a whole bunch of people came up, and for maybe about 10 minutes between a few key witnesses and a nice long chunk of other people came up and expressed their opposition to this bill because it would cripple 3D printers. But unfortunately for us over here, we can see the vote for this bill on 6/23/26, Senate Judiciary, 11 for it, 2 against it. So it did go through. Now, one of the assembly members basically tried to ask her a question about 3D printing after people came up for a few minutes expressing their opposition to it, and she couldn't answer it, which is not surprising because she probably doesn't know a whole lot about 3D printing, if anything at all. But here's the problem. I don't think she would buy an argument that a shape cannot have intent. Because the reality is, I have no idea what she's thinking when she's up there getting schooled about her 3D printing bill, why it's stupid and why 3D printing is awesome. But the problem is people who are kind of in this mindset, they look at us and are thinking, so you guys want to print your fun little plastic toys while we're trying to stop the deletion of children off this planet. So you see that kind of mindset. It's like they're not thinking about whether this is even remotely close to a firearm or anything like that. They believe they're on a crusade to save the lives of children. So how does this really change things? And the reality is this bill is rotten fruit produced by some bad ideology. And if we go back to the original question at hand, do we need to make this particular fight against this bill about firearms? And the answer to that question is no. It really needs to be about an understanding of violence, sources of violence, and how we react to those kind of things. Because maybe you think that banning firearms is a good thing, but the reality is that's not going to solve the violence problem, and neither is trying to shove crappy spyware into 3D printers to identify something because maybe it looks kind of dangerous. And you don't have to take my word for it. Let's just take a look at a few reference things over here. So first up is an article here from the government of the UK talking about how they have banned ninja swords because those things, turns out, can also be used to commit violence. And then if we jump to another Commonwealth country on the other side of the world, we are looking at the state of Victoria in Australia, and they had to ban the sales of machetes after there was a gang fight in a mall involving like 8 people just going at each other. Also from Australia, we have an article from a knife maker talking a little bit about some of the different laws that pertain to Australian pocket knives, and it turns out over there, you can't just carry a pocket knife around like you can in this country. You have to have a very good reason, whatever that means, to carry a pocket knife on you in the country of Australia. And I could go on and on for some various other things, and you'll realize that this violence problem is not a firearms problem, and blocking 3D printing is not going to solve it whatsoever. And if you think getting rid of all those violent things is going to go ahead and save lives, maybe you should take some time to read about the Bath school disaster that occurred almost 100 years ago here in the state of Michigan. It's probably one of the largest acts of violence you've almost certainly never heard of. So with that, I want to thank you guys all for watching. That's my next latest rant on this particular topic, and it probably won't be the last one. Like I mentioned a little bit ago at the start, Delaware recently went ahead and introduced a similar bill to this. I'm going to keep an eye on that one to see if that happens to go anywhere. The one out in California, after it got through the Senate Judiciary Committee, it got passed up to another committee where there was a request for some amount of amendments before it gets passed back to that committee. But I would imagine that some point in the not too distant future, the Senate's going to pass it and it's going to find its way over to Governor Newsom's desk, where he will almost certainly sign it into law. Anyway, if you are interested in 3D printing and in particular 3D printable gaming miniatures, you can check out my line of gaming miniatures over at fracturedcolony.com. Some of them are sitting up here, of course. I still haven't got these on the website for sale because they were part of the crowdfunding campaign, but I'll do that some point soon. And I did get my Prusa printer up and running. I got the Prusa Core 1 Plus, and it is a fantastic printer so far. It's just cranking stuff out, and its reliability for the first handful of prints has been absolutely amazing. So I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you all next time.